try to.
Yeah, you got some good.
Tommy, make sure that we can hear us.
He ain't answered no. He answered the
It'll
right
be good.
question.
Be good.
Though.
Make sure you can hear us, please.
He answered the right question, but you asked it though. You asked it, but
you know what? Let me tell you this too. I know we're finna go live.
We live already.
We are
go ahead.
live.
Oh, we live.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't tell us now. You shouldn't tell us now.
All right. So somebody said I came up with was it Ray Montana? So I think he put some on there. He said,
"We good,
man. You didn't ask him this. You didn't ask him that." And so I didn't reply to him, but I just said to myself. A lot of times, if you notice when I do the podcast, what I always say, if you got a question, you got a comment, you got a concern, answer it. And if you ask that question, we'll make sure we answer your question.
I'm about to say, you made sure you did that.
Yeah. So sometimes I might not ask the question you want me to ask, but okay, that's why we live. You can ask it, and when it's live,
True.
Go at it.
Just go at it.
Go at
I ain't seeing it.
So I try not to.
You ain't seen it.
All right. Yeah.
I say go at the question. Go at,
I want to see it on the post.
Sometimes I don't see all the questions anyway because something going on in the background.
You got stuff pinned or something? I know you don't got Jordan Johnson pinned. Well, I'm not seeing it. You see it on yours?
What's it's live now?
Yet.
You just shared it? Yep. I'm going to go to your page. It could be.
Oh, it's live now.
How can I see it? Let me see. I want to see it too.
Oh, yeah, go to my page. I'm about to share right now. Matter of fact, I ain't got to tell you to share, but you should share it too.
Yeah, tell me how to do it. Wait a minute, where your page? Hold on.
Hit the share button.
Is it? Oh man, you say it's not live now?
Nah, we live. We've been live for like 2 minutes now. All right, hey, how y'all doing, everybody?
Wait a minute, I don't see it on there.
Make sure y'all comment. Let us know y'all can hear us, please. Make sure y'all can hear us. Let us know if y'all can hear us.
You shared. Where you shared it?
I shared on my page. Yeah, Bobby.
That's what I was on.
My page, Bobby. Make sure y'all share the live. Yo, what's going on? YouTube comments. What's up? What's up? What's up? We got a good episode today, man. Real good episode. You put the camera on now. We're gonna clap it up for him, man. Clap it up for him too, man. We got John Milton in the building. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Everybody good?
Yeah, we teaching him how to share things on Facebook. So
still learning. I appreciate the tutorial. I appreciate the tutorial.
Yeah, we ain't charging this time. We're charging next time. We're gonna show him how to share it this time, man.
Caught me drinking water.
How you been, man?
Man, I've been doing good, man. I appreciate the invitation to come down and sit among the elite.
Oh man, here you go with the elite. We just like, hey, you the elite. Apparently, we trying to get like you, man. We trying to get on your level.
No, Lord, look at
we can't even get on your level.
I promise I'm trying to get like the elite. Sitting at the round table with you all guys.
Yeah, man. I guess we get into it a second. Make sure y'all share the live. Y'all watching. If y'all can hear us, let us know. Comment. You got any questions for Mr. Milton about whether the barbershop talk live or just him in general? Ask it in the comments, and I'll ask it for him. So what you been up to, man? Barbershop Talk Live doing well. What you been up to, man?
Well, like I said, Barbershop Talk Live is what I do. Is what I try to become on and off camera. As you know, I just been constantly doing some things. Just finished one of my big fundraisers this past April, old school 70s party. A lot of work went into that for all the people that came out, supported, brought tickets, just was in the attendance. I appreciate it. That was a great event. Looking forward to the next one, the next year, Lord willing, April the 17th. Mark your calendar. Mark your calendar. April the 17th is the next old school 70s party. We're trying to put this thing together. So again, I do a lot in the community. My main focus is HIV testing, HIV awareness, and also HIV education. I have a nonprofit organization that specializes in those areas. Angelic Community Resource Development. Been doing that event for that cause for about 25 years. Love what I do. Love support the community. Be involved.
What got you involved in that though, like with the HIV awareness?
Man, it's a funny story because I had an uncle that passed years ago. Didn't know that was the reason how he passed. So once I kind of got a hold of that, another good friend of mine, Ken Barnes, he just passed a few years ago. Me and him collaborated together on a lot of different events. And as they say, the rest is history. We're doing from Julia Smith Casino to Payne College. We do most of the events, matter of fact, all of the events we do is HIV related. So even if I do a basketball tournament, it's HIV related. The money we raise for that tournament will go toward getting things in the community to keep letting everybody know about the HIV world, HIV AIDS world. because you want to know your status.
Yeah.
You want to know your status. You want to know your partner status. And I tell everybody, it's not for yourself. It's for your generation to come. So got to know your status no matter what level you are in. And now I'm a big stickler about health, knowing your health status. Again, know your partner status, know your family status. If you ain't here, listen, first of all, you don't want to get sick because people don't want to take care of no sick person. They don't want to be taking care of no sick person. Listen, I ain't got time to be doing that. She should have known better. He should have known better. So
Yeah, I heard people leave people when they get sick.
when they get sick, it's hard to find some friends.
Ooh,
And matter of fact,
bad.
you can be a multi-billionaire. When you sick, you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
You ain't got enough money to take care of yourself, and you'll spend all your money to try to take care of yourself. So you don't want to be around here being like the old folks say, being a burden to nobody.
Yeah, so I know you got into the HIV and you do that a lot. What kind of got you into media? Like, what drove you to media? Like, why you started Barbershop Talk Live? Like, what got you into that?
Funny thing about Barbershop Talk Live, and I don't have no problem telling it, Barbershop Talk Live started as a joke. Started as a full-fledged joke. Didn't have no aspiration to get into this platform, getting into this world of the media world. And the reason how it started, as you know, when you go to the barbershop, you go to the beauty salons, everybody got a story to tell, everybody got a lie to tell, everybody got something they talk about in the barbershop, whether it's religion, politics, whatever they're talking about, finances. And so my barbershop, Jay's Place Barbershop, I try to make it an inviting place, a good place to come hang out. Just, some people come in there just to talk. They ain't come for no haircut. So there was a time when we was in there, and if it's a good conversation going on, I literally pull out the phone and start recording live on Facebook. And so as we get live, I might have 10 people watching. And they get in there talking about the Dallas Cowboys, my team, Pittsburgh Steelers, my team, and we go in a good heated conversation.
Real quick, who your team?
Pittsburgh.
Okay. Make sure it ain't Dallas.
I hope you wasn't finna say Dallas.
No, heck no. I ain't no better, but I ain't no Dallas fan.
Who your team?
I'm a Giants fan.
You're Giants, okay.
Yeah.
All right, big up to the New York Giants.
Yeah, we won in the 2000s, so
Well,
I feel comfortable being a Giants fan.
You good. You good with that.
Yeah, so
And like I say, when you get in there talking about all the different subjects, and then what happened as we talking about it,
DMX.
somebody say my team is better than your team and all that.
Dogs barking.
You never know lie, right?
Got the dogs barking. That's funny.
And so, like I say, good heated conversation, and I went live talking about it because I thought what we was talking about was somebody that needed to hear all this stuff. Then we had 20 people watching, 10 people watching. Next time we come in, the same thing. Somebody talking about this, somebody talking about that. I go live again, and to be honest with you, let me tell you how it really started. I'm telling you what it started now, but how it started taking off, probably I guess 3 years ago, during the mayor's race. This last mayor's race with Garnett and Kendrick.
Oh, again, but the first one.
The first one, right?
Not the rematch. Not this time.
Not this time. So what happened during that particular time? Barbershop Talk. The old style was kind of people was watching and just kind of laughing whatever we talked about, and so I actually saw Garnett one time and he said, "Man, we're in the runoff. Anything you can help me do in the runoff?" I said, "Well, what you need me to do? I don't know. I mean, I know both y'all guys, so what you want?" He said, "Man, any way we can get some extra votes because we got the runoff going on." I said, "Well, I tell you what, let's do a live show. Come to the barbershop. I'm gonna ask you all kind of questions." And I'm gonna tell people that you're gonna be on the show, and whatever they ask you, you ask them the question. Don't dodge the question. Don't shuck and jive on the question. Whatever they ask, you got to answer the question. And remember, this is the starting.
The first time I got you.
The so-called Barbershop Talk Live now.
Yeah.
And so he said, "You think it'll work?" I said, "Well, let's try it and see. I don't know." I put out a little post. Garnett gonna be on the show. Y'all tune in and see what he gonna say. And let the chips fall where they fall. So he came on live show. I said, "Hey man, people." At the time I had a little phone. Barbershop Talk was on the phone, and I said, "Hey, y'all call in, y'all ask the question, whatever you want to ask the guy that's running for the mayor, see what he say." And that particular show had over 2,000 views. Started out with 20 here, 10 there, 5 there, 22,000 plus views. And you remember the actual numbers what the winner got.
Yeah.
With that amount of views. Going by that amount of number. I said, "Oh, okay." So somebody said, "Man, you might have something." I said, "Man, I don't know. We just playing around having fun." And so then we did another show, another show, another show. So after that, and now we where we are now. T-shirts, hats, cups,
Yeah,
all that kind of
merch.
stuff.
Yeah,
Merch.
yeah.
So again, it started off as a joke. I didn't go to the class. I didn't go ask nobody. I just had fun with it. And some people say you got to have that it factor. You got to have that charisma. You got to have that talking gene or whatever you want to call it. So I consider myself being in the barber business, being around all the different folks coming into the shop, talking about whatever, talking about whenever, whoever. So can you imagine you not having that it factor doing more than the masters?
Yeah.
If you don't have, you got to have that it factor. So
Yeah.
I kind of pat myself in the back for having the it factor, and again moving the way it is now. So I kind of feel good when people ask me to go host a event, get on the red carpet to do this, do that. I say okay, well, I appreciate it. So
That's dope. That's dope. That's
yeah,
dope.
I'm just having fun with it.
So what's your and being in media now? Like, once you start, it's always fun. And I think anything is fun at first. And when you start taking it seriously, you kind of get into a mode of some sort of professionalism.
Right.
Maybe knowing the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, trial and fail, trial and error. What's some things you're learning along the way with media? Like, as far as it could be interviewing style, interviewing wise, certain guests. What's some things you learned about media that you didn't know before?
I didn't realize the hard work behind the scenes that it takes to put it together. For us, if you on this side of the camera, you all you see is us talking at the table. But behind the camera, the guys are working the controls, the guys making sure the sound check, the mics, even down to the lights. It's so much that goes on behind the scene because when the people watching it, all they see is what they see. But now that I'm in the different light or different side of the camera and of the microphone, I'm a stickler to the point where I say, okay, turn the lights up a little lighter. Turn them down to just a little bit. Make sure the microphone is a little clear. Even make sure my haircut, my shirt.
We'll fix your shirt now a little bit. I ain't gonna
So
lie to you.
I try to make sure every little thing is.
Your shirt. Oh, I know I'm joking a lot, but no, seriously, your shirt was messed up right there, collar.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Just
See
make sure,
that?
make sure. Your
So
shirt.
I'm a stickler now because even down to the guests, when you bring on certain guests, and certain guests would be for certain things like we're in what we call election season now. I want to bring on certain folks that come in and talk about running for office, whatever that's going on. If a certain time of month, breast cancer month, men's mental health month, whatever's going on. So I try to watch those persons before we bring them on, because I say, well, if that particular person come on, if he's not a talker in the public, he sure won't be a talker on the show. So now to get to the point where I don't know if I want to get her on, want to get him. I want to get the person that's going to bring light to the attention, bring light to the show. Because again, all I want now that I'm on that side of the table, I want your attention. I want your eyes. I want your ears. And if we can't come together to make that happen, I'm like, hold on, I might need to find somebody to do this particular episode.
Yeah. So, Q, you can kind of chime into this. Like, what's your thoughts on, like, I hear the conversation a lot. I think we have it a lot, indirectly sometimes, on like being media, but just being black media. Like, you're the face of Barbershop Talk, face of Augusta News Network, face of Morning Master. So we all have media, but we are black, So do you think we have a certain stature to uphold, or a certain kind of media way we put our media out as far as upholding when it comes to the black community, our quote unquote people? What's your thoughts on like being black media?
Okay.
I feel like we get criticized diverse.
You got a better, she got better thoughts than that. I'm gonna ask her again. Q, what's your thoughts on being black media?
I do feel like we get criticized the most. It's a lot. It's a lot that go into being black media. It's just like it's a lot of different variables, but we get held to a higher standard than other media, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just sometimes the standards is unrealistic, or a counterpart media. I'll use Augusta News Network. Normally, the information that I post is already public information, right? It's already public. Somebody has already reported on it. I never call myself breaking news, right? So that means that this information is already out there. If I post it, there's some negativity that comes with it. But it's already been posted from somewhere else.
You repost it.
Right? On a whole different platform. Nobody goes in the comment section and say, oh, you're misleading people or nothing to that nature. But in my comment section, you get all of that. And all I am doing is reposting what's already public and adding some context to it. That's it.
What's your thoughts?
I would say the same thing. Most of the time, I would look at the black media is definitely held to different standards. And when I say to different standards, I can look at some of the other platforms. They can cuss. They can directly put their comments at other individuals or organizations, stuff like that. Looking at something this morning, talking about 60 Minutes with Scott Pelley. You know, he pretty much said that the CEO of CBS is murdering 60 Minutes, making it look like it's a murdering show. They're pretty much killing the brand of it. So imagine me saying stuff like that on my platform. You know, they get the red flagging me and all that kind of stuff. So it's more of a higher standard because again, I got to critique my words. I got to put them in certain ways. I mean, it's to the point where it's a higher standard and it's almost a lower standard. When I say a lower standard, I can say something that's degrading, but that's fine. That's good.
That's a good point. Damn, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. If I'm saying that, I'm gonna say, man, look, Bobby Boucher, that show is, man, more than the master saying nothing. Well, that's what they expect to hear.
Yeah.
They expect to hear us go at each other. I mean, that's good, you know. But now if I go talk about another show, hold on, man, you overstepping your bounds. You don't have the authority to talk about that particular show. You have the authority to talk about that particular person. You only know that person. So keep your comments to yourself. Until you got some proof what you're saying, just be quiet.
Yeah.
Now again, that's accepted because the standards or the lower standards that we put out or we've been receiving.
I think just we be on the bad side of a lot of situations. It'd be hard to even cover some news when it comes to us. But I'll say this. I don't know if Q want to expound on it, but I'm going to expound on it. Because when she talk, I always think about this one particular situation. I don't know why. You might not think about it often, but I think about when you brought the news about the T-Mobile thing. And I don't know why that bothered me so much. It don't really bother me. I'm not saying that. I just didn't like it for you. Because I was like, I think because people feel like they know the person behind the page. They know the people
behind the page. And I feel like
because one of the comments was like, oh, well, and I wanted to stop, like, well, you're not doing it. Like, you keep saying, if I did me. And that's the problem with black media. Not the problem, but that's a issue I see sometimes with black media or something you have to overcome. Like, a lot of people, because they look like us or we got the same skin tone, went to the same school, same background, same life chances, they feel like, well, if I was doing it, we like to put ourselves in black people's shoes a lot, which is a good thing for the most part.
Right.
But they would do that with media and then say, well, if I was doing it, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
Well, you also work there, so you feel like something's wrong. But again, that was public news that came out a week before that.
Right.
A week before she posted something about T-Mobile people getting let go.
Right.
It came out a whole week before that.
Right. She just
Nobody
reposted.
said nothing.
Right.
But once the urban or black media platform posted it,
Right.
now we're mad. Now we're upset. Oh,
Right.
people need to know what happened last week when these, I ain't gonna say the word, but when these other people that wasn't black, non-blacks, I don't know what you want to call them.
Right.
What happened when they posted something? The same people who had to go to work, had families,
Right.
but because she posted it, now it's a problem. And I feel like that's something we have to overcome and deal with in black media a lot too.
Right.
And I also feel like because they know who's behind the page, you know what I'm saying? Like pages like Augusta Savage, the new CSRA crime page, like it jumped up when the page is anonymous, it jumps, right? When it's anonymous and it has some type of negative connotation that's attached to it, it jumps up. Like it went out. When I posted, it went up. It went up. He went from 2,000 like 6,000, like instantaneously. So we love negativity, right?
Mess. Definitely.
Mess, negativity, drama. But when somebody's trying to enlighten you, like I just want us all to bring back being intelligent, smart, speaking to each other with confidence,
With some sense,
admiration, respect, respect. But making that more popular than somebody's mugshot, somebody fighting, somebody kid getting shot, like kids getting jumped or whatever it is. Like, we highlight the negativity. We're the ones that actually share the jail report. We make up majority of the jail report as following. Like, we do it to our own community. And I don't know how we can break that cycle, but we also tear down our community when our community is trying to rise. Like, black media is not a thing in Augusta. Like, it's not a big thing in Augusta. There's a certain media that's been telling the story of the city for a long time through a specific lens. And I say a specific lens because they haven't actually been versed in our community. So a lot of times that media gets it wrong. yeah, they get the facts right, the paperwork right, because that's what the paperwork said, but you don't know the people. You don't know the people, you don't know their experience, you don't know their livelihoods because you've never been a part of it. So you don't have much sympathy and grace. They write differently when they're talking about their culture than they write about our culture, and you tell it's a grave difference when they're speaking on our culture. Even with Austin Rose, when he posts things and things to that nature, the way that he speaks about people, even the people of his skin color that does crime, he speaks about them way differently than he speaks about black people, right? It just is, but it's acceptable, and we make it acceptable as well. We're actually going challenge him about something that you actually know he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know he's this type of person, and instead of you just saying, I ain't gonna deal with him no more, but you'll cut me off. So as a black woman, you'll cut me off. Y'all will unfollow the page, all of that. But you will consistently take disrespect from somebody else and be like, oh, okay, well, that's just how he is.
Yeah.
But we need to know what he's saying, why.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's one of them things where like other medias can also have mess, and people will be outraged. I will say that they will be outraged, but their outrage is supporting the page in a sense. It's like it's really backwards. Their outrage is sharing it, sending it to mad people, and commenting on it, going back and forth, creating engagement.
Right.
So this page can get a check or whatever, maybe unknowingly, but they're doing that.
Right.
But the minute it's black media, it's like, oh, unfollow. I'm not. They won't even share it.
Right.
They'll post on their own page about the page.
About the page, yeah.
But had it been the other media, they'll share it and then also express their discomfort or concerns with how something was projected or given to the media. And I always thought that was kind of backwards with black media. That's something we have to deal with. And I guess, I don't know if we all do it to ourselves, but that's just something I've seen when it comes to media in our world, you know.
You know, as you're listening, I'm listening to both of y'all talk. I try to put Barbershop Talk Live in a light where it's not controversial, it's engaging, it's humorous, it's educational, informative. So I try to make it where all type of topics, all type of things we're going to talk about. As I said earlier, we had the lady come on talking about ED last week. He talking about erectile dysfunction. So I don't know any other shows that's doing those type of topics and type of subjects. So I try to make sure. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. Because, again, some of the stuff that she said last week, I didn't know. I didn't know about certain things about the male parts and how it works and stuff like that. So I try to make sure when you see me coming on with different guests, you know, I try not to keep a whole lot of negativity because even though I know negativity sells, you know, I don't want to be part of all that kind of stuff. So I try not to get too controversial. I guess I can walk the fine line in a certain way. So when you, as I said earlier, if you're talking about the Austin Rose of the world and people like that, you know, I guess that controversy has worked good for him or worked good for that type of person. But I don't want to be this particular, like your show, More Than the Masters. I don't see no controversy in it. I don't see nobody, you know, throwing you under the bus and stuff like that. So I try to be, and be honest with you, I watch your show a lot. And I look at the way you do stuff, the way you conduct stuff, and other folks, I say, okay, that's why I want to stay in that lane right there. Because, I mean, I ain't trying to get, you know, red flagged either.
Yeah.
But controversy, like, as you said earlier, we always held to a different standard. We always, you know, looked at stuff differently. And I just want to be able to just make a difference in some kind of way to the point where when you hear John Milton, when you hear Barbershop Talk Live, you know you're going to get some good information. Yeah, that's how I try to run with it.
I think one of the beauties of black media, though, is not just a standard, but being able to set your own standard. Like, I think that's one thing we try to do here with Augusta News Network is set our own standard. Like, I would love to sit here and say, well, we're not going to ever talk about mess.
Right.
Well, people don't want to see. They don't. Sometimes I can have an author every week. They don't read books like that.
Right.
You know. But the minute somebody come on that had a big controversial something that happened 2 days ago, everybody tuned in. We didn't even got to say nothing. We just put the person on here and they all tuned in before we even start. It's going up 8,500. But the minute you start talking positivity, sometimes they don't like that. So you gotta kind of. You gotta learn your audience and kind of sprinkle it in a little bit. So there's times where we might not talk about mess, whatever, but then there's times where that's what's coming on the page because they also want to come on here. Right. So we walk it down, we'll do an interview, we'll talk, but it's always hard to kind of funnel through that when you know you kind of damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know. But live is hard. Like we do, and you do a live show. You do a live show here. Live is hard when you have guests on because you can't edit it. You ain't no taking it out.
Yeah, ain't no
it
taking
happened,
it out.
and that's just what it is. You know?
Yeah.
I guess you answer this too as well. is there any live moments so far on the show that happened, right? That in your mind you feel like, damn, they probably won't want that out there, but it happened right as live that you just noticed. I think we had some good moments. I don't think we had nothing bad. No, I'm lying. No, I'm lying. That's not true. That ain't true. Lonnie and
But it was so.
no, that was bad.
vague.
That was bad. That was
It was-
bad.
Bad meaning good?
No,
bad meaning bad.
Bad
Bad
meaning
meaning
bad.
bad.
Yeah, that was bad. And I mean bad in the sense like
Because of what she said about
it was
the
one
kids.
question we asked. It was like, hey, what you gonna do for the youth?
Okay.
And she was like,
So
I don't
she don't
have
have
no kids.
kids. So, and
He didn't have the best answer either, but his answer was better than hers.
Okay.
And all I'm
okay.
saying is people was commenting was like, oh, we're doomed. And mind you, it was mad people from that district that they
Okay.
were both going for.
Oh, okay.
And so it's live. You can't take it back.
Right.
It's out there already. And the people that's in that district are waiting to see what you're going to say.
Right, right.
And so they're like, that's your answer? You know,
Right.
so that's probably a live moment, you know, for me. What about you? Any live moments that,
Well, a lot of crazy moments on the show, and probably the recent one that was when the mayor's on, and the question came out, what have you done, for the city of Augusta and being in office? And he responded for what are the things he's done, what he accomplished on the short period of time he's been there, and he said to the lady that was watching, she need to go jump in the river. She didn't pay attention to what's going on, and I promised I didn't even know it was going to go that direction. And I saw the AI posts and I saw all the different things about the jump in the river comment. I was like, whoa, what's the world? What happened? And I saw Barbershop Talk on all these other platforms, referring to the question, and I saw Garnett swimming in the ocean trying to.
hey, you got to chill.
I'm like, what the world? About to drown in the water, and I saw somebody putting, the signs in the trash can and all that. I saw all kind of stuff like that. So it was a lot of, but that's the good part about being live.
Can I ask you a question though? Like,
Okay.
like what was your thoughts? Like when in that moment, not the next day, not after, like in real time, when he did say that, what were your thoughts? Because y'all kind of went to commercial break anyway.
Right. Well, you know what? Let me tell you how I took it, and I might get somebody to throw some shoes at me, but I'm gonna tell you how I took it.
They're gonna throw the shoes.
Yeah, they're gonna throw the shoes out. So I'm-
definitely is 'cause you about to say something positive. And
I already
ain't got
know.
nothing to do-
I smell
And it ain't got
positivity. I
nothing-
smell it.
And he
I smell that
responded exactly
positivity.
because you missed that whole sentence that you spurted out to him to make him react the way he reacted. Because there was a sentence that was said that would spark this reaction, and they have a relationship. They know each other. So with the name, what was said after, and his response matched perfectly.
Okay, so let me tell you how I took it from the part about the jump in the river part was Savannah River. So when he was saying about what he'd done for the city as being the mayor, he was talking about the Hurricane Helene coming through, the downtown improvements, the South Augusta jobs, the place over there by Parker's and all that kind of stuff. So he was mentioning all those different things, and definitely when the hurricane came. All the trucks of food, the water, and different things for that kind of stuff. So everybody had a chance to come out and receive some of these free items from meat, the cleaning, tissue, all that kind of stuff. So he was explaining what all he was doing during that time. So as I took it, what he said, if you didn't get a chance to get none of this stuff, you might have just didn't get nothing. So
Nah, that ain't what he said.
well,
That
you
ain't
might
what
have
I
been.
asked him in real time, not
Yeah.
recorded in real time.
real time.
So
real
in
time.
other
He
words-
making it seem gentle though. Like,
Well, I'm again from where I took it because
Hey man, people want to know.
what do people want to know? Matter of fact, put it this way. So all the stuff he was saying for us, the truckloads of filth coming in, you might have what he said. You was one of the Pope.
you might want been one of them
Recipients.
One of them
people
Pope, yeah, did
who
get
got the $100 million free
Right.
supplies that we were handing
that
out.
we was handing out.
Right.
Right.
So and you ain't have to say he ain't have to say that. Now he ain't have to say that at all.
So again, now the way I took it, again, I know I'm gonna get some shoes thrown at me. So the way I saw was he was explaining what all I've done, because the question was, what have you done? So well, listen, if you don't see that I'm behind the scenes of making trucks come in and stuff for the community and during the hurricane and folks ain't got lights and all that, it's almost like right now, if you wake up right now and you look at the TV and realize Donald Trump the president, you're like, when did he become the president? I didn't know when they had the election. So you must have been up in a rock if you didn't know Donald Trump the president. So I'm thinking if the way he was saying it, where you been if you didn't see these trucks coming here? Where you been if you didn't see this water coming here? Where have you been? If you've not been here, you need to go jump in the river, because I was here making sure stuff was happening. Again, it's just me talking. I know I got shoes coming at me. So where were you been if you didn't see all this stuff happening in the city under my watch? So where you been if you didn't wake up and know that Donald Trump is the president? Because you must have been up on the rock. You must have been in a cave. So again, that's how I took it.
Okay, so
That's
how,
I mean,
how old are you? You well over you well over half a life.
Right.
All right, and so is he.
Right.
All right. So we gonna
Barbershop
put
talk
we,
live.
we gonna put that out there, right?
Okay.
So just the reality of y'all age alone,
all right.
you wouldn't say that at
Well,
all, right?
right.
Just
I go with
because
it. I go with
it just doesn't align with leadership, mayoral. It just doesn't, right?
Right.
Respect is respect, and it is an insult to say that you received some of the assistance that we brought in. You must have received some type of assistance. That's a low blow because he had already spit out his credentials. He stated it. He was like, I did this. Cool. No problem.
Right.
That's enough
That's
because
enough.
you stood on it.
Right.
But you responded because who the person was, what was actually said, but it still don't get no pass. And you try to make it seem like
Well,
it was sweet.
I didn't know.
And
I didn't know.
it wasn't a sweet pass. It wasn't a sweet comment.
Right. See, I didn't know what all the, as you say, the relationships behind the scene. I didn't know all that was going on. So, and if you notice, if you get a chance to watch the podcast, I try to make sure I acknowledge those persons that's making comments.
Yeah.
So I say, okay, Dominique, Steve, Jordan, whoever is saying the comment. So when I say that particular person before we went to commercial break, I say, well, she said this and she said that. And then when he said go jump in the river, and then as I went to commercial break, I said, well, she said you go jump in the river. So
John trying to be fair.
yeah, I'm not.
John like, hey, look, I'm trying to be fair.
Yeah, you go jump in the river because that's what, and that's when I went to commercial break.
Yeah.
So again, now that the water and everything hit the fan, I didn't know this relationship that's going on. That I'm like, what?
Yeah,
What's going on?
But I had already known that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I guess my question, for the live too, like, how does it work when you are going live? I think that's important. Cause you got what people don't know is you do have a team. Like
Right.
it's a few, when I went, it was like 3 people behind
Right,
it.
there's a whole team.
Are they funneling you questions, or is it all your own questions? Cause like you had a phone in hand, but you got I know the TV and stuff is there as well.
Right.
So like, what's making you pick the comments that you were asking? I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have asked her comments, but because I didn't know the background,
Right.
and I wouldn't ask them the Q's questions either. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, well, you know what?
When we start asking your question, I say, yeah, he don't already know what's going on. He don't see the setup. He don't see the setup.
Well, see, if anybody know that,
I needed to kick it off.
I know.
I need to kick it off. I need to keep the conversation off.
keep it going. So the good part about Barbershop Talk Live is it's just like the name says, it's live. And I tell everybody that comes on, because everybody say, what we gonna talk about? Whatever. So in other words, if you're an automobile mechanic, you better know how to change the oil. You better tell us how to put some air in the tire, because we're gonna talk about everything.
What about if you're a lifeguard?
You better
Can
tell
you
me how to
somebody jump in the river?
You better know how to swim. You better at least know how how the current flows. You better know something. So the good part about it again is live. So there's no pre-rehearsed questions. Sometimes there's not even a topic. Because again, we just gonna flow with it,
Right.
And I try to let the person know. And right before we go live, what I started doing, I don't think I did it when you was on, but what I started doing now, we're gonna pray. Before we hit that live button, we're gonna do that kumaya. We're gonna all pray about whatever we're gonna talk about. And once we get through praying, I ask the guests. I say, is there anything you don't want me to ask? Anything. And 90% of people say, no, I'm an open book. So whatever you want to ask, I ask it. I say, okay, once you tell me that, I can come out my back pocket with some stuff on you.
Gotcha.
So because you just told me I'm open, let's go with it. Now, if you say we don't talk about my kids, don't talk about my job, I won't even come with that. So some questions I already know in my mind what I'm going to ask, but as the conversation goes on and I hear you say something, okay, we're going to touch on that. You're going to touch on that. And again, the guests, they come with some questions too. Okay, let's go to the chat line and see what the guests got to say. And please, sir, answer that question.
I got a question though. I want to ask, like, what? So we can get back to that in a second. But like, how did that interview even come about? Like, how were you able to get that interview, get him on your show?
He actually, I think I can't remember exactly where it was at, some kind of community event, and we just said, well, man, I want to come on and talk about the election. I said, okay, cool, we'll figure out something. And be honest with you, my mind be at 10 different places sometime, and I've been on forgot. So I said, oh, let me call him, see if he still want to come on. Because Kendra had come on earlier, and I don't want to have nobody come on without the other person coming on. So I try to make sure if I'm going to get this person time, I want to give you some time too. So once Kendra came on a few weeks back, then I said, okay, well, whatever your schedule permits, just come on and we'll go from there. So That's how we set it up. Set the date, set the time. Everybody know what time we need to be there so we can do the sound checks and all that kind of stuff. And once we get out there straight, and everybody get the same question: is there anything you don't want me to ask? If you say no, flow. And every time he come on, I ain't got nothing to hide. So I get this all the time. You know what I get all the time? Why didn't you ask him this question? Why you didn't ask that question? I said, first of all, I'm gonna ask everything that comes to mind. I'm gonna ask everything that comes to the conversation. But you always are in tune to ask anything, because again, it's a live show. Because you know what we did in the beginning? We had it where people call in.
Yeah, I remember
They used to have
number
people,
out there. Yeah,
421-1566. They used to call in, but what happened? Nobody wasn't calling. And then if I see you at the grocery store, I say, man, why you ain't call the show? Man, I ain't feel like calling because people know that's my voice.
I mean, Ray, why you didn't call the show? Don't say Jermaine.
Well, you know who else.
I'm gonna ask the question in the comments every time. I don't care. I'm typing.
Yeah, we kept pushing everybody to call. We can have some interactions, but nobody want to call because they want to be on.
Yeah.
So now I say, well, we just start the whole process of folks calling in, but they'll type on there, and even though the name come out there, we still know who typing. So what's the difference, in my opinion, from calling to typing? But they rather type because I guess they can hide behind the camera and type whatever. So
I know you said like you don't really care for like any kind of like negativity. I know it was some surrounding the interview. I think it was some positive stuff too.
Yeah.
I got positive stuff out of it. What was your thoughts on the interview?
What you got positive about the interview?
Say it again. Talk to the microphone.
What you got positive about the interview?
Him being able to, well, for me, I was able to see the kind of person he was. He hadn't done it in a long time. So I was trying to gauge whether he answered questions the way I wanted to answer questions, the way that I see a mayor answering questions, how he kind of is under pressure. You know, he probably failed in that department, but other than that, it was. I'm not dissing him. I'm just being for real. That's a positive for me because I'm a voter. So it's, I'm thinking about what I need to vote. I can't pick this off, pictures and photo ops and, events or whatever. I can't pick off that. I got to pick off that. He didn't come here, so I can ask no questions here, So that ship has sailed. So when I saw him on it, I was just happy. But I just wanted him to do black media. It didn't have to be here. I know people wanted it to be. It didn't have to be here. It had to be somewhere in black media. That's all I cared about. So if it was about, I'm cool with that.
Well, he did Miss Janice too, didn't he?
I don't know. I didn't watch it if he did.
Okay.
But I like in person. I like that's what I like Janice a lot, but I like in person. I like you sitting down with somebody live where other people can ask. What I like about his show and on our show as well is like we can talk, but people ask questions. So we might have 10 questions. I might have 10 questions, but the comment section got 40.
right.
So now we got to figure out a way to funnel those questions
Got to
in.
balance it off, yeah.
And I like that because that's pressure. I got a question. She got a question. He got a question. They got a question. Now, and so when you, and it's not against him. He do what he want to do at this point. But I think the under pressure thing for me came with it. From what I saw, in my opinion, this is just my take of the interview. Because I watched it in real time. I remember screen recording. I went back on screen recording. I said that was crazy. I thought that it was weird to have one person put you under pressure because there was nobody else in the comments that was really saying anything crazy. I think the one thing that triggered him, in my opinion, it was he ain't did shit.
Mm-hmm.
That just triggered him.
Yeah.
Now, John reading it was funny as hell.
Because I don't think he seen the sentence in its entirety before
he just saw the name and said, okay.
Yeah.
That's really right.
He said
right.
he ain't did, look, squat.
Yeah, I say it's squat.
I was like, yep, got him.
Yeah.
And then that I think,
triggered it.
but then I seen the shift in his demeanor. And mind you, them two going against each other, so I don't mind saying that.
Right.
I had Kendrick on here. We had about 4 people watching at one time, and they all wasn't saying positive stuff.
Right.
We asked, they said, where the ring? Where's your wife? Ask
Right.
about this, ask about that. Cool, calm, collected. Answer the question.
Right.
Didn't tell anybody to go commit suicide or nothing like that. Just, hey, this is my answer to that.
Right.
And I'm not saying that makes them better, but I just saw how the two both deal with pressure.
Right.
And I'm also going off your past. I'm going off the commission meeting. I'm going off leaderships, things that I'm looking at, But one thing he did mention that I did like, I like about the mayor, the current mayor right now, I did like the Parkers, when he talking about Parkers. I know people don't know about Parkers, and it's going to sound like I'm giving him kudos, whatever, but the thing about Parkers is this. That is one of the highest paying retail jobs in Southeast.
Right.
So you bring a lot of those over here. That's a good thing.
Right.
You bring multiple over here. That's even better
That's
because
even
some of
better.
them store managers at Parker's are making $70,000, $80,000, $90,000.
Right.
They have a pay. They have a certain way they're paying you.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know about Parker's. The guy started in Savannah, so you got to be at the table to kind of get them to come here.
Right.
It's an opportunity. I get that, but they was known for paying in cash for one,
Right.
and then also known for paying as you need it. Like
Okay.
so like you can pull from a Tuesday. You get paid next Friday, you can pull from Tuesday. Which in some areas you need that because of whatever lack of or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you bring those kind of jobs to the city, in South Augusta, that's fine, get it. When you bring those kind of jobs, some people, maybe not me, maybe not Q, but there's some people who can only work at a Dollar General,
Right.
a Family Dollar.
Right.
So you bring Parkers and it's like, well, you're making 12, but you making 6. You starting out 16 here. It's like,
Right.
I want to go over there.
Right.
So you bring them. I get that. That is bringing a job, but my thing is, why is it so hard for him to say that? Like I shouldn't have to say that for him. He's never said that yet, and I just feel like that's what, when I think about a leader, I'm thinking about somebody who can articulate things so I can understand them. So
But
I can
maybe
explain
he
it to
can't
people.
say it because
Then he shouldn't be in that role.
maybe he can't say it because you can't take ownership of something that you didn't totally do, right?
people do it every day.
I think a lot of stuff. Their politics are very careful at the things that they say because words matter.
Well, he said no, but he said
He said he brought no. He did not. He said he brought There's a difference. Bringing somebody and introducing somebody to it. It's other layers to getting somebody to come in here and do business with the city.
I mean,
as
it was
well.
but it's his thing. So whether
Right,
he did or
because
not,
he the mayor. He the mayor
but
right now.
but that spot was his. That Popeye was his. It's just
Right,
going
so
now.
he came
Parkers
up.
is there.
Right,
I mean,
he
maybe.
came-
I
so
don't know.
it was
I don't
a
know.
win-win for him.
Yeah, we ain't get an interview.
It
We
was
never
a-
get an interview.
it
But no, I
it was a
I
win-win.
don't
What
know
you
the business
mean?
part of that. I just know that I know
It
people
was-
that
you
work
just said
for
it.
Parkers.
Right.
So when I'm thinking about positive, I'm thinking about just he might have came up. Who knows? I don't know. Say he still owe money. I don't know. But that's his business. I'm talking about the other 6, 7 times how many Parkers. So 6, 7 times 10, 67 people that got high paying jobs
right.
now. I'm thinking about them
Well,
versus
you know, let me throw this out there too now. And again, there's some of this barbershop talk that we talked about a couple of days ago in the show. Even today, somebody say, as we said earlier about the mayor ain't do nothing. The mayor, what he done. So I don't know nothing about the politic world. Never desire to be in none of those seats, those commission seats, and all that kind of stuff. But the way I understand it, most of that is coming from the commissioners. So when people say South Augusta ain't got this, South Augusta ain't got that, before Cornette got there, South Augusta didn't have that. South Augusta didn't have this. So is it the mayor's fault or is it the commission fault? Somebody might say
it's the mayor because he campaigned that this is what I was going to do in South Augusta. This is so. Granted, every time a mayor comes in, everybody has their own list of promises, right?
Right.
Their own list of goals of what they want to do, and mainly those goals are related to whoever they're trying to get their votes from, right? So you create this plan based off of what the need of the community is, and you go out and get the votes because they are in need and they want these particular services, right?
Right.
So if you campaign on something, you either do it or come back to the people and say, hey, I attempted to do it, or things just didn't go this particular way, so I was unable to do such. That has never happened whatsoever. So a lot of people are saying they didn't get what he promised, and I am one of them because I am a voter. I definitely voted for him the first time.
Well,
because I specifically invested in South Augusta, almost $50,000 specifically because he was like, "Oh no, don't listen to what Kendrick want to do with the Regency Mall. I'm going to handle this pretty much. I'm going to make sure that y'all get some business over here. We going to invest in South Augusta. We going to build it up. We going to get it right." Right? That had not happened. There's so many businesses on Lumpkin Road that like upgraded and poured into their business. Not saying that we shouldn't have, but there was a reason because we're thinking that we're going to get revenue. We're going to get some people coming in because if they start building it up, surely it's going to be great for the community.
Right.
But that did not happen. And there's another politician telling lies to the community.
And you know what? Now, that's... I guess when
you're talking to the mic, you keep talking over there.
When you talk about stuff like
so
that, I guess
Talking to the mic when you're talking.
we I guess one of the words I always try to get those politicians to say and do is be transparent. Now, none of them, in my opinion, has been transparent because with all the stuff that's going on right here in Augusta, if I was in those particular seats, I want you to tell me why the money's short. Tell me where the money at. Tell me why this ain't getting done. Tell me why the roads ain't getting paved. Tell me. So don't get up there and give me these old nice pretty answers. Let me know. As you said earlier, I would be the politician or the person that get into office and tell you, say, first of all, I ain't gonna promise I'm gonna do that. If these folks agree with my plan, if they agree with my thoughts I'm trying to do for the city, then we'll see. So I won't get up there and say I'm gonna take care of South
Right.
Augusta. I ain't gonna take care. I won't say that because again, I can't.
You don't know what
I
you're
can't
going
do
to
it.
encounter once you get in the office.
Right. I
And I
can't
always
do
feel
it.
like, why does it feel like the government or the official, once they get elected, it becomes them versus us? But you were just a citizen.
Right.
So why is it that we're fighting against the government? Like, why is the citizens fighting against people that we elected to protect us, to look after us? You know what I'm saying? Like today at the commission meeting, we had to show up in order for it to be logically sane for y'all to put measures in place that do not exist before you allow somebody to come in the community and build something that we do not know what it can do to the community. But the only reason that it's even considered at this particular moment is because we in election season. That's the main reason. And the fact that we had to come down there and show up. Why do we have to take time off of work to come down to make sure that the people that we elected to be in office as trustworthy individuals, we have to babysit them to make sure they're making good decisions on behalf of the entire citizen and not 550 people. I think we just recently they just did a survey or something. The data center that is here, 550 people knew about it. 550 people participated in the survey. That's it. And that was enough for the government to say, you know what? We got enough data. You know what? Go ahead. We gonna pass it all. Why not? Huh? 500, it's 200,000 people. 200,000 people. And same thing about the mayor response, with him responding the way he responded, as if everybody know him. Everybody don't know you. We have an extremely low turnout in voting. So you know that simply off of voting, that a lot of people do not know who you are.
So let me ask you this question: Why people don't go vote?
I don't know. It's been like this forever.
Well,
if you go look back to, I look back as
I'm about to
back
say
to
you're a little older than
2018.
us. Go.
Well,
ask them to vote back
Shoot,
then.
I don't know why people don't vote.
Let me
but
tell you. Let me tell you why. And again, this is my opinion, and this is my opinion coming from my grandmama. Lord bless my grandmama's soul, because she used to tell us when we was little, we said, "Grandmama, let's go down there and vote." The people said we need to go vote. We need to go vote. Now I'm 55, and we trying to tell my grandmama that was way older back in them days to go vote, because these the people come by and knock on the door, want you to go vote. And you know what she say? I ain't going down there because them folk gonna do what they want to do. Well, I'm gonna go waste my time. Boy, sit down.
And they sound like that every time.
Every time. And I got a guy that came to the barbershop today. He'll be turning 80 next week. I said, who'd you vote for in the mayor's race? Yeah, I ain't go down there. No people gonna do what they want to do. What I'm gonna go down there and vote for. So now I'm 55 and this guy 80. So when you tell a person, how can I get the folks to come out and vote? You can't. Because the mind is already set. Because again, if I go down there and listen to the Kendrick, listen to the Garnett, listen to the Hardy Davis, listen to whoever, you already gonna do what you want to do anyway. So why I need to waste my time to go vote? So you talking about the low turnout? The low turnout started back in the Jim Crow days. The low turnout started back in the Board Bush education day. Because again, every time you tell me we're gonna do this, if you take my chance, if you take the chance to vote for me, this is what I'm gonna do for your community. This is what I'm gonna do for your city, and it don't get
They
done.
move the marker.
Right, they don't get done. So now when they and then you know what they do? They'll say, well, if you go to vote, we're gonna excuse you for taking off work. We won't charge you or put this against you for going to going to. If you want to take off, go take off. We got you. As long as you go vote. Well, what that mean? You don't took off to go vote, and when you go vote, and then get done.
Ain't nothing getting
Now
done.
Now I'm finna bring it home. Now you remember when Stacey Abrams ran? The whole country, at least the whole state of Georgia, thought she was gonna be the governor. What happened? They started closing down polling places. They
Same
started
thing
doing
that's happening now.
right. So I'm like, wait a minute.
But that's-
so you
that's
mean to tell me
equivalent what
I
happened
can't
in-
go vote for her no more? You're closing down places.
Real quick,
Barbershop
Amber
talk
Wilson,
loud, too.
she said to your comment about 500 people, she said because 200K didn't care enough to read the survey or engage.
Now 200K ain't receive a survey.
Was it a survey though?
Huh?
Was it a survey? Is it?
It was a survey, but I'm saying I'm very active in the community. I'm very active in politics.
That-
I'm
and that's
very
what
big.
Angela said
I've
that-
never,
Angela said-
I've never got a survey. When we first jumped into it and we actually had the page, I used to always ask everybody, Jordan Johnson, like, how do y'all communicate with us? Why don't you guys try harder to make sure that y'all are at least can reach out to the citizens. But during the election time, I'm going to get a text message from everybody that's running. If you can spend money to inform people to go vote for you, why can't you spend money to get the citizens on one accord? Because we're not. Y'all don't have a lot of participation. And I hate when they say like, oh, well, ain't nobody gonna show up. Right, because we have already a low turnout. But the people that is showing up, even if it's 30, that's enough based off of the amount of people that actually participate in voting in Augusta. Like, that's enough. But they be like, oh, ain't nobody coming out. Yes, 100,000 people ain't gonna come out because we don't have 100,000 people even participating in voting.
Somebody said you don't look 55 at all.
Ah, there you go.
Asian backwards. That's right. Okay. Asian backwards.
Appreciate that, whoever that is. But, you know, again, let's go back to the transparency. Tell us what your agenda really is. Are you there for the perks of the job? Because we know the mayor don't make a whole lot of money. The commission don't make a whole lot of money. So
they make good money.
Well, I mean, probably the last few years, but historically they don't make a lot of money. I mean, you know what kind of money the commissioners make. So are you there for the perks? Are you there for really to take care of the community and the people that you know that put you in that position? I mean, so. But
the decisions seem like what? Why do we always say the same thing? Why don't people trust? Because they've seen that you say one thing and you do other things, right? This isn't a myth. It's actually what happens. Kind of like Miss Isep, she was at the commission today, and basically they changed the rules basically to fit the situation right in there. They just changed the rules recently, though, so they just modified it, but they remodified it after she came the next time. You get what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Like, you keep moving the post.
Right.
Every time somebody's here, you're going to change it to modify you.
Right.
Each time it benefits the government, but never the citizens. And that's the problem. Like, every decision it seems like the government be making, it benefits the small circles, but not the broader community of the whole CSRA. Right. And that's how it feels. Even down to all these people taking time off work to come down and voice. I'm talking about take time, write out a speech, stay under 5 minutes, make sure that we're respectful, make sure that we speak clear so that you understand what we're saying, make sure that we're extremely loud and vocal so that you can hear our enthusiasm and passion behind what you're doing to our community. And you look us dead in our face and, you know what, this is a good idea, actually. This is a great idea. They're here already. Plenty places have had it. Cool. I'm so sick of everybody saying that everybody else got stuff. Cool. We don't live there, though.
Right.
We need to take care of home. We need to figure out what's going on at home. We got people all over our city talking about it's polluted all over, that we got all kind of already issues, health issues already that we just overlook.
So she said we need a mindset change to get voters engaged. These podcasts definitely help to spark conversation, keep it up. I was going to say, touching on what you said, I think you agreed, like people saying that, well, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. I just think that's like to me, that's an old way of looking at things. Right. I'm just going to be honest with you. Right. If you really look at the government, I know she said it too, like that people say what the other cities is. But it's kind of hard to not compare, because if you know it's successful somewhere else, then it can be successful here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how my mind works. Right. And I think about, even in the scope of Augusta, maybe one person is overpromising and under-delivering, but I don't think everybody's overpromising and under-delivering. Right. So then I think about, okay, well, let's say who's doing good, and I'll count those 2 or 3, 4, 5. I don't know, maybe 5, probably too much, but 4, and then you go from there. But that's what I would use those to get the younger people or people in general to vote, because you just mentioned 2 older people. Right. The issue we having is young. So,
I
didn't even know we had a older issue, but now I know we got an older issue. You know what I'm saying?
Well, again, like to say, the old folks mentality, well, I thought you were going to go down there and make a change. Yeah. You got down there and got like the rest of them.
But we talked about it before. I know we got a little bit of time, so I want to make sure I get our next guest on. But we talked before. I think it's just sometimes you're not engaged until it affects you. And I think with the younger kids, maybe 20, 25, 26, I don't know, maybe they're not affected by it right now. I know that we talked about Jordan Johnson the other week, and I talked about on my page the other day. I think me seeing him, how he was able to maneuver through things before he became a commissioner, made me intrigued. I was like, he my age range, look like me. You know, like I probably should be more invested. If he doing what all he doing, I should at least know something about politics.
Right. You should
And so
know
I
something.
use that to start interviewing and talk
Right.
to them people and go from there. But then also somebody like me, somebody like you and you, Tommy, anybody in this room can also take this back and talk to somebody else and get them engaged as well. I seen more people engaged this time. I know the turnout didn't look that well,
Right.
but it starts somewhere. And if it start with engagement, I'm cool with that. It just we gotta get off the couch and go to the polls too. You can't vote on you can't vote online, technically speaking, but you can't vote on Facebook. So
And I think one of the things like you said earlier about the surveys and stuff going out, I think maybe they should do more of putting out all the information, because now we're in the let's just talk about the Garnett and the Kendrick situation right now. So you see the commercials, you hear the radios advertising about Garnett and Kendrick. So that's all you hear about. The Lori Miles and all those persons, Eric Gaines running for office. So now when you go to the polls, you know what you got to do. You're voting for the Superior Court judge. You're voting for the insurance commissioner, the governor, all those different positions. But before you can cast your vote, you know what you got to do? You got to answer that one or two questions about Georgia agriculture. Like, wait a minute, what is it? I don't know about no Georgia agriculture. We're talking about the grass seeds, the grass, whatever. So you can't cast your vote until you answer that question, and the question is this long. So wait a minute, now where to talk about that particular thing? All we've been knowing about is the mayor, the Superior Court judge, So now when you talk about the surveys, let us know about what that is entails, because now I can't say who I really want to vote for, cast a vote until I answer all that. And now when I get to that point, guess what I'm doing? I'm just gonna mark anything.
And
just to get out of
But
there.
I feel like you, us, me, it's super important what we do, because maybe we talk about a lot of things people won't like to talk about. Oh, it's mess, it's drama, whatever.
Right.
Maybe they say that's what they be saying sometimes. But it's a lot of intricate things we talk about as well. We will post that link to this and tell you why. I ain't reading all that, but they read all that.
Right.
And they comment all that.
Right.
Do they go to the link and do the survey? I don't know, but that's what we're doing. So we mixing it. Okay, we're gonna talk about drama, talk about this person, laugh at that, but then we're gonna give you this.
Give you that.
This is important.
Right.
We need an algorithm now. This is important. But aside from everything else that you were just saying, I just think that even with the ballot, the agriculture and all that stuff, what we did this time was something different that we never did before. I did it years ago. Funny, Jordan Johnson was there that day before he was the commissioner. We did this a long time, but we did a sample ballot.
Okay.
We went down everything on the sample ballot.
Okay.
And so it was like, if somebody watched that and then they were surprised when they got there, I'll be lost.
Right.
Because we went over everything,
Went over everything,
And the
right.
reason why I do that is because I know how it feels to go vote for one person and be like, oh, who are these other 20 motherfuckers on this ballot?
Right.
What's
right.
going on here? I
Right.
didn't sign up for this. I signed up for one person.
Right.
And so we did that intentionally. Talk about it, not to sway you. I don't care who you vote for. Just go vote. But do your research. I haven't got paid to endorse anybody. So that's why I ain't did it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I
the
like
same
shirts. The
way.
shirts look nice.
Right.
But it cost me to put them on.
Right.
Been
I'm
people
the
watching
same way.
it. So
I'm the same way.
but I do want people to vote. I do want people to get the information out. So I appreciate you for interviewing both candidates.
Right.
And giving people a way to pick the deciding factor on what they want to do. And I appreciate, we might not do it here because that's not we kind of changing the game what we want to do. But I like that you don't really involve yourself in picking a side per se.
Right.
I won't say pick a side, but you definitely gonna know how I feel about you.
Right.
That's the way I'm doing me.
Yeah, and that's why I try to be, because I might know in my mind who I'm gonna vote for, who I'm gonna endorse, but I can't do it on that particular platform because again, I'm taking sides. I just make sure that the person that's in the hot seat, you sell yourself. You sell yourself. You let the people know.
Last question.
And I'm trying to break the norm.
Because
I want to talk about who you vote for, because you eventually you will vote for somebody and there'll be different views, but you still have to work with that person, and it should be okay to have the conversation that I want to rock it with that person, but
it shouldn't be personal.
Let's just
it shouldn't be personal.
Right.
Right,
Let's just
right.
work. So breaking the norms of that's taboo. You shouldn't talk about it. You shouldn't discuss it. Why not? Why not?
I got a question.
Okay.
People want to know.
People know.
Dominique Manor. She said, ask
Hey,
him.
Dominique, what's up?
She said, ask him, is Garnett his personal friend?
Oh, interesting.
Is he my personal friend? To be truthful to that question, Dominique, I would say every time I ask Garnett to do something for me or be somewhere or support what I'm doing, for the health fairs, the concerts, the 70s parties. Matter of fact, I did a big 50th birthday party for my wife. He was one of the ones that walked in there and congratulated my wife on the birthday party. So not saying the other persons won't do it, but he was always there to show me love. And again, as I do these health fairs on a regular basis, If ain't anybody coming, I see Garnett there. Now remember, those type events, everybody's invited. So I literally put it out to everybody, show your face, come in, shake my hand, take a picture. God bless you. Get your HIV test, get your blood pressure checked. See you when I see you. So every time I do something, I ain't at his cookout. I ain't out there cooking hot dogs and flipping burgers with him at his house. I don't do all that. But again, I'm the type, if you ask me to come, I'm there. If I ask you to come, I hope you can return the same favor. So when you say a personal friend, I mean, you my friend. You my friend. So I don't know if I answered the question where she wanted to answer, hear it.
You've been around Garnett a lot.
Yeah, I've been
Clap
around
it
him.
up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up for him, man. Clap it up,
He
clap it
definitely
up.
did that, boy. What? He did that. He did that. He did that.
So that's a dumb
I got PTSD.
A follow-up question is,
Partisan,
if he did
Democrat.
not support you, would you call him your friend?
If you not, yeah. And the reason why I say that, if you don't know, I've been cutting hair for 30 years. 30 years I've been cutting hair, licensed barber. So me and a couple guys that I graduated barber school with, I consider to be my good friend. So I haven't talked to this guy named Jerry. I don't talk to Jerry on a regular basis, but when I do call him, John, what you need? That's my friend. I can call him when I need him. So even though we don't always, like I say, be in the backyard cooking and fishing and all that kind of stuff, if I need him, I got him. He got me, vice versa. So I guess, yeah, if you can say he's my friend, if you don't support, because, hey, how many times I've been in his house? How many times you been in my house? But when you call me, or when I call you, remember I asked you about the lights.
Yeah.
Next few hours you were there dropping off lights.
Yeah.
Now one of the reasons you dropped off them lights because you figure I was good people.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So look, we ain't got to always socialize and play cards together. But if I need you and you come through, that's my friend.
If it was yes, you could have just said yes. It was fine. Like
Well, I had to
we weren't gonna beat you up and say yes. Like Garnett not my op. Like he cool.
Because Dominique she wanted me to explain if I say yes or explain if I say no.
You on Augusta News Network? AUG explain, man. You got to explain it the AUG style, man. But it's all nah.
Yeah, I got to explain
it.
It
is a political answer. Yeah, they threw the shoe at you. They throw your shoes.
No more shoes.
Nah, but I appreciate you for coming through the
It don't make no damn sense.
But listen, tell them to keep watching. Keep tuning in. Keep tuning in.
All jokes aside, I know we joke a lot and play, but regardless of how people view certain answers, I did thoroughly enjoy the Garnett interview. It's probably for more reasons than one. It was funny to me. I'm not gonna lie. And I did enjoy it. I think you did a good job. I know people give you a lot of flack. I hear it. I don't know if you hear it or not.
Yeah.
For like, oh, this question didn't ask that question. I feel like people can chime in and ask questions. They want to ask questions. So that's fine.
Yes.
But I think that my favorite part was you asking about whether he was Republican or Democrat. That was my favorite part of the interview.
Right.
And then he gave you your answer. That long answer you gave me. He gave me that like da. And you was like, so yes, you're Republican.
So
and that
pretty
shit
much
had
you
me
were
crying.
Republican.
I didn't curse.
Right.
It had me crying. But I thought the interview was good. I thought it was
He
great.
was like, nah, I'm for Augusta.
Keep doing. Who you got tomorrow?
Tomorrow I have Bobby Bands.
Okay.
Bobby
Shout
Bands
out
will be on the
to
show
you,
tomorrow.
Bobby Bands.
Talking about something coming up on June the 6th, Wings and Wealth.
Okay.
Talking about the Wings and Wealth program be putting together. So again, it's gonna be a great show. I try to make everybody have a great show, great time watching, time listening. And again, as I said earlier, if I don't ask the question, chime in. Type it on the screen. We'll make sure you answer all those questions, all those comments, and all the concerns. Because again, as I say,
Mario Taylor said, "John, good people." Hey, we can swap guests real quick. I appreciate you though. Give me a 5 minutes. John was there early too, man. Shout out to John. He pulled up before me.
Early.
Shout out to John.
Early.
Hey, shout out to Mario too.
What's
Put
up,
the
Mario?
Put the camera on me. Mario too. Mario, my guy, man. That's my man right there. He hit me during y'all
Taylor
interview.
made.
Yeah, during the interview with you and Garnett, he was like, he
What he
said,
said?
he said he chose the right platform. And then the next day, I was like,
But listen, let me say
midway
this.
to the interview. You know what
Let
I'm
me
saying?
say this.
That's my
before I go.
man though. Shout out to Mario.
Is it Montana? Ray?
Ray.
I don't know him, but yeah, that's his
Ray
name.
said the same thing. He said, well, he went on Barbershop Talk Live talking about Garnett because he know they don't ask the tough questions on there. Barbershop Talk Live don't ask the tough. I said, well, hold on. Everybody get a chance to ask the question. So if you feel I wouldn't ask the right questions, you ask the question.
No, I'm ready for Ray Montana show. He needs a show.
You ask the question, and then if whatever.
That's Mario guy.
Hey,
That's Mario man.
Well, hey,
I'm playing. Mario,
well,
you,
remember,
man.
I'm friends with everybody.
I'm playing.
I'm friends with everybody.
Personal friends. You know, clap it up for him, man. The personal friend. Clap it up for the personal friend, man. Nah,
Everybody
but
my
I
friend.
appreciate you, man.
But I appreciate the opportunity to come on and sit among the elite, as I said earlier.
We try.
Yeah, sit
We
among
try.
the elite. So
We try. All right, well, look, the next half of the show, not political. We got somebody coming on the platform. Want to make sure she come on. So y'all can swap seats. You know, we're gonna do it live. We do everything live. We ain't gonna go nowhere. We just gonna swap them up. If you want to stay and watch, you can. If you gotta go home, I'll get
I'll
it.
kill a few minutes.
I don't know if you gotta call Garnett or something like that. You know.
Come on, Nomi.
I'm playing.
Welcome to the stage.
No, she said he everybody's friend
He
now.
everybody friend now. Yeah.
He's running for office.
He friends with everybody in the
Yo.
Augusta.
Hey, he got my vote. He got my
I'm telling
vote.
you.
He got my vote.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you that.
No, I really enjoyed that. I really
Hey, come sit down. No, tell him come sit down.
I actually had somebody come in the shop a few months ago and told me that if I run for office, they'll fund the whole campaign.
They fund the whole campaign. That's how they get you. That's how they start.
That's how they get
I know
you.
them backdoor deals.
That's how you be the puppet.
Oh yeah, no. And John in the mix. John in the
Tell
mix.
you.
Hey man, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Man, leave him alone. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Mario and shout out to John, my guy. Everybody, yo, go to Mortal Masters and look up John Milton. I got an episode with him, talking about his whole life. Good episode. Good guy too. Went to Payne College, was a party animal. You know what I'm saying? So
Look.
he was the vibes. He know the vibes.
Look,
We're about the
the
same
only
age.
reason Mario Taylor is not
So,
has not got blocked from
I
the
mean,
Best News
no,
Network is because
the comments.
That's my guy.
someone's
That's my
like,
man. Now, Mark,
55.
he a real person. He really good people though. He love the page. He love the page. He really good people.
he talking about some. He feel like we leading the people, and we is. We
Hey,
is
man.
leading them straight to the ballot box. Better know it.
That's the goal. Look, man. All right, you ready? All right. You put the camera on the guest, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? She ain't shy.
No.
How you doing? Well, you can hear the mic. Bring your mic a little.
Oh.
Be comfortable. Get
I
comfortable.
mean, 'cause you're a tall drink of water. Such bring it.
Whoa, what that mean?
Down
Drink of
low.
water.
I'm telling me.
Wait, hold on. What does that mean?
No, I'm so happy
Let
to
me
be
look.
here.
Let me look that up. Drink of water.
A
tall drink of water.
Yeah, hold on,
You're
hold on,
looking
hold
at
on.
her.
Drink of water.
A
tall drink of water.
Of water.
Drink. Tall.
Tall.
Yeah.
Okay, that's important to put.
It's very
Yes.
important.
It's not a
to
short
put
one.
Tall.
Tall drink of water meaning. Let's see what that means.
And you heard it. I'm going on barbershop, and we're all friends.
Yes.
All
Yes.
the
Notably
yeah.
tall, slender, and physically attractive. Okay.
tall drink of water. That's what I said.
That's what it.
You ain't put the other part on.
Nah, hey, what can I say, man? Mario said, "Why block him?" See, look, why you talking on air, man? I ain't gonna block you. You know, you the homie. You know what I'm saying? Mario, a real friend of mine, bro. I knew him for a long time. He good
You
people.
safe. You safe with Bobby. You safe with Bobby. As long as you don't get out of line in the comment section.
but let's get into the guest. I want to get into your tell them your name, what you do, where you from. Come on, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Clap it up. Tommy, hit the clap button. I don't hear nothing. There we go.
Oh, is
clap in
that
the comments.
clapping?
Yeah,
You
we
know,
clapping.
yeah.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
My name is Nomi Stanton, and I'm the executive director at Gap Ministries. Been in that role for about 3 years.
Okay.
I'm a military spouse, so not from here. Actually came here kind of kicking and screaming. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know
Wait,
anything
why?
about Augusta.
Why?
I was like,
Why?
what's Augusta? And my husband said, the Masters. I was like, what is, I had
the
no
wrong answer.
idea. I didn't know what that was. So, but this is home now. So, yeah, we have 3 kids that graduated from Lakeside High School.
Okay.
So I live in Columbia County, but I work in Richmond County. So
What kind you like? What kind you like the best?
honestly,
Don't give me a John.
I
please,
spend
no
more
John
time in
answers.
Richmond County than I do Columbia County. So
All right, I like
yeah,
it.
I
Me
love
too.
this town.
Me too. Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, we need some kind of love every now and then. You know,
We
don't
need
get-
it
we
all
don't-
the time.
Yeah, you damn right. I like you already. Yo, clap it up again for her, man. I'm liking her already. I like her energy. I like her energy. But I know the goal here to talk about homeless and the seriousness around homelessness.
Yeah.
We've touched on it sometime in the podcast, talking to different constituents, people who are running for office. They've touched on it. I was actually told, that wasn't like something in the job description. They don't get graded on like them fixing homelessness. But you got a few that will do so. So I want to talk everything about homelessness. Like, give me the rundown.
Ask me,
What's
literally
Gap?
ask me
Let's
anything.
talk first what Gap
anything.
Ministries is and why you became part of that.
Yeah. So originally I was working for the Bail Project. So we were in Richmond County, in the Richmond County Jail, helping to bail out folks who were unable to afford their bail. And that was a really eye-opening experience here in Richmond County, and just how many young people are being locked up and staying behind bars because they couldn't afford their bail. And we're talking about like petty things like shoplifting. We're not talking about heavy duty like
Real
battery,
crime.
assault. We're not talking about that. And I really love teenagers. And so when I would come across teenagers that were locked up, there was something about it that just would kill me. And I had a young man that went to Josie, and he said to me, you know, Miss Nomi, you could bail me out, but I'm never going to not carry a gun. He's like, I don't feel safe when I step off. When I leave my porch, I don't feel safe. He's like, so I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, you could bail me out, but I probably am going to end up back in. Not because I'm going to use it, but because I need to have it to feel safe. And I think about that all the time because I want this town to be safe. Like my children are driving around and having dinner downtown, and you know, I want to have dates with my husband downtown, and I want everyone to feel safe. So when you talk about homelessness and you talk about the things in our town that are happening, those are heavy topics that people don't want to talk about because if we're being honest, I literally don't know a family around that is not affected by either some type of addiction, incarceration, mental illness, if we're just being honest. So when they shut the bail project site down in Richmond County, and they really did that because they weren't seeing enough return on their investment, it was taking too long for people to go to trial, which I understand. I mean, it was devastating. That literal next day, I was on Indeed and I saw that Gap was hiring an executive director, and I thought it was a sign from God. I was like, I had sent people to Gap to get things, and I'm like, that's where I belong.
What is it and what does it stand for? Because I think it's a clothing line.
Yeah, so you want it, especially as a military spouse. You're like, what's the G and the A and the P stand for?
Yeah.
But it's literally filling the gap between need and plenty. So we really want to help people with a hand up.
So the G ain't no GAP. It's just really
no,
a word.
It's literally filling the gap.
Wow.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Filling the gap between
need and plenty.
Wow.
And we start with like the very basic stuff, like vital documents. So one of the reasons why I wanted to come on here is because there was a story last week, and Commissioner Wimberly actually said, hey, we got to put homelessness back on the commission floor. Like, where are we? Why aren't we talking about this? And
real quick, you okay with your hair being in your face?
oh, this is my story of my life.
Okay.
These are my luscious locks are always in the way.
I'm making sure. Okay.
They don't need to see my face. It's all good.
Just making sure.
No, it's listen. I grew up in the
kept looking
80s,
back and
man. I
forth.
had
I'm like,
half my
damn,
head.
damn, okay.
No, it's all. And it was crazy to me because it was one thing when it was only in District 1, right? So only downtown. Homelessness has been in every district here in Augusta.
It's migrating.
Real quick, I'm sorry. They got a question I want to ask you before you get into
anything.
your thing. Ask her, what did she mean by them not going to the court in a timely manner? You said something like that just a second ago.
Their court cases. The court cases were not being seen in a timely manner. So they were in, because this was during COVID that I worked for the Bail Project, and they were still hearing cases from 2016.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty major that you can be in jail waiting to go in front of the judge for years. And, you know, that's painful.
Yeah.
Especially because for some folks, they can put their house up, you know, do a property bond, but most people they can't do that. So that's why, the site ended up closing, and that was just super painful. But I was grateful for Commissioner Wimberly for putting it back on the floor, because I do think it's something that we need to talk about. But when I commented on Facebook, the attacks just kept coming about, like, do you even talk about like negativity and how, you know, we try to keep things so positive? I put in the comment, just like, we're never going to eradicate homelessness, but it is really hard to climb out of that hole, and I don't think people really understand how hard it is. So,
real quick,
yeah.
before we get into how hard it is to get out of homelessness,
yeah.
do you have a story or do you know any intel information
Oh my God,
about
tons.
how can tons of what? I didn't even ask the question.
Bring it. Well, because we talked before
Yeah,
the
no,
show.
no.
We can, yeah. So go ahead.
No, but
yeah.
how does one get into homelessness?
Yeah.
That's a hard question to ask.
It is.
I do media. We talk about it sometimes about possibly just interviewing somebody in Broad Street, but it's like, it's something about putting the camera in a homeless guy's face I don't feel comfortable with right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I'm gonna come off as performative, even though I know I'm trying to paint a picture.
Yeah.
I just can't bring myself to do it. I don't mind asking them and just not recording it.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna feel like, damn, how am I gonna get people to understand this is how people get into that? So if you can,
Yeah.
one story, tell us how someone can get into homelessness.
Yeah.
Before we
well,
talk about getting out of it.
So the shocking thing is that it could happen to anybody. And I really never believed that until I met more and more and more and more people. It, regardless of like your background, the color of your skin. And I really appreciate you asking, because a lot of people might think, especially when you work with a population that's so vulnerable, you never want them to feel exploited.
Right.
And sometimes you walk that kind of that fine line, like, well, if I ask them these questions, are they going to feel like exploited, or is the person that loves them and wants what's best for them going to look at you like, why are you asking that? Why, you wouldn't ask, why
So many
would you ask
questions,
that kind? Yeah. I mean, so I won't name names, but we all have clients that kind of climb in our hearts. Real. And I was bringing in a huge donation one day, and a bunch of guys were in the parking lot, and they said, hey, do you need help? And I was like, that's awesome. And so they all helped me bring a bunch of stuff into our pantry. And this one guy I had not seen before. I had never met him. And you begin to, like, we build relationships.
Right.
So you know if someone is new, you just do. And that's one of the things I love so much about my job, is I get to, like, love on people and get to know them. So anywho, after everybody helped bring things into the pantry, he was still in the pantry. And I was like, hey, man, we don't know each other. My name is Nomi. Tell me your name. And his wife had passed away. He was from South Carolina. And after she died, they were high school sweethearts. He spiraled, and he couldn't get out of bed. He had a full-time job. They didn't have any kids. He was outside of his home, and he got his house taken away from him. And he said, well, can I at least grab some stuff to fill my backpack? And they let him go in and grab some stuff to fill his backpack. And he had walked across the bridge and had been kind of adopted by some of the other clients that were in the area, and said, hey, come over here. There's breakfast here, and come over here. There's lunch here. And so he said, I don't know what I'm doing. I've literally never been homeless before. He's like, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who to trust. Like, everybody seems nice, and he just burst into tears. Grown man, in his 50s, and he said, I literally, I don't know what to do. That is someone who has fallen into homelessness, had a job, was happily married. That was hard. But then we also see more children, more families. So I think we have a stereotype of what homelessness looks like in Augusta. And I don't think that people really do have an idea, because there are so many more children now than ever. And I think if you see that, families who kids were in school, honor roll, had a home, and then the one parent who was working lost their job, which is happening more and more and more.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear as a single parent. I ain't even gonna lie.
It's terrifying. And then so you're not just trying to help people, but you're also I'm sorry, but you need to be compassionate and kind, and every single person is different. And I think that's kind of where we go wrong. Is like, we want to have a cookie cutter approach to help people. You can't. It'd be like, something that helps me is not what's going to help you. And what your situation is, you may have some money in the bank, but you may only have enough to pay for a hotel for a week, kind of thing. And then there are all these stereotypes here too in Augusta that, during the Masters, they ship all the homeless out, and they load up.
About that.
Honestly, some of the foolishness that I hear, I'm like, come on, can we just have
But
some?
where they be at though?
Well, so truth is that the hotels on Washington Road 100% do up the price, and so they kick the families out. But that means that the HOT team, which is the homeless outreach team, which is part of the sheriff's office, which that was one of the first things that the sheriff did when he came on board. Honestly, it's the most beautiful, incredible thing, because these are officers that are the most compassionate, kind individuals, and if you were in crisis, you would want them with your family member, because like that's what I think of. Like, if this was my sister, if this was my best friend, how would I want them to be treated? And they've made a huge difference. So that's when they kind of kick into high gear to try to get people to places. And then if we can unify families, like straight up out of town, but not just for the week. It's good to meet you. Not just for the week, but legitimately, can we get you someplace safe? Because we already know housing here, there's a huge shortage, and it's darn near impossible. But there's the rumors of shipping people out of here. I have not seen it, and I've been working in the city with this population.
But they do be
For
gone. They do
I know
not,
it seems it
they
does.
do not be popping up out of nowhere.
I-
It be
well,
so clean.
They do go around prior to and try to
Ride
relocate
'em up.
some tents and stuff, but they also help people relocate. That's the truth. That's what they don't tell you.
Yeah.
Is they're
It's a-
actually.
it's a-
I don't think they're just snatching them off
Yeah,
the street.
no, there's nothing like that. It's nothing like that.
It's a comment. It says, from someone who was once homeless, there are so many ways to become homeless,
Yeah.
and the stereotypes need broken. There should not be shame in being homeless, but society makes it shameful.
I'm
And it
telling
should,
you.
and that's what I'm asking. Augusta has the most wonderful helpers, like straight up the best, kindest, hardest working people. So there should be no reason why this town can't be compassionate and kind. And that's what's so hard, right? So like I'll make a comment and I'll say, okay, but these are the things that people need. For example, you need vital documents, right? So in order to get your name on a housing list, to get safe employment, sign up for benefits, I'm talking about like insurance, like basic
right.
things. You need your vital documents. But if you have been moving around or you're not from around here, that's really hard. So it's a challenge, but I love a good challenge. And so what we do at GAP is we help get people their birth certificates, wherever they were born in the country or one of the U.S. territories, or born abroad as a military brat, which is big because there are a lot of military families that retire here. We have a lot of folks that come here that they grew up in foster care or they were adopted, and they don't know the county they were born in. They don't know their mother's maiden name. Like, we take so much for granted. And some states require a photo ID to even get a birth certificate. So now we have to have a photo ID to get your birth certificate. But how do we get you a photo ID? Because we need your birth certificate as a vital document.
Yeah.
So it's like, what I want people to understand is it's so easy for someone to see a person walking down Washington Road and think they look totally normal. Why can't they get employment? Like, why are they being so lazy? Oh, they're just sitting at the bus stop.
Or in the Bobby Jones with a sign. I hear
and-
people complain about that a lot. Like, oh, they just stand there saying, "Hold that sign. You can go get a job and you can make money."
Yeah, but
yeah, well, break that concept, because I say that all the time too.
But then again, how do you know that they're homeless? Because sometimes that can be a lucrative thing to panhandle. That, and again, the city did have a panhandling campaign a couple of years ago. And really what would be great is if the businesses downtown also kind of work together, because if you are constantly giving things to folks that are hanging around outside, folks are always going to hang around outside. Like, my clients know I don't carry cash on me, so no one asks me anymore. Hey, Miss Naomi, can I have $1? Or can I have this because I need to do a load of laundry? Well, now we have a community laundry room inside, so I don't get asked for money for that. But even for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if we could work together, we could help.
But kind of expound on that a little bit more, because I'm thinking as a business owner, I see some people outside. I'm not thinking panhandler. I'm not thinking that term.
Yeah.
I'm thinking homeless in need.
Oh yeah, and I'm not
Maybe
saying
dirty. I don't know, right? But
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I feel for them. Hey, you know what? It's nothing for me to give you some coffee, give you this. But also, you're saying that as we do that, they're gonna come back and keep coming back.
And I'm saying that if I knew that I was going to be getting something, and if I came back every day, I probably would come back every single day. But I think the other thing that I would really love is if the folks downtown, if they're having that problem, reach out to one of the people that is working in the trenches in that realm.
So talk about that. Like, let's talk about. I'll make a clip of it. How
Yeah.
could business owners downtown that may have that problem, may see that, whether it's the homelessness, panhandlers, that verbiage, how can they partner with Gap to help that issue?
Too easy. Just literally call us. I think people don't even realize that it is just as easy to pick up a phone and say, hey, because I have seen there are other nonprofits downtown that actually have gone door to door and said, if you need help or if you want advice, we're here for you. And not a lot of people take them up on that offer. But if the business owners downtown and the leadership downtown also work together with the helpers, man, the impact would be just phenomenal. And I can't even imagine how many people would be helped. The other thing that's really hard, and I'll only speak for myself, is to have to repeatedly try to explain why you should care. Like, well, why should I care that this person is, fill in the blank? But if you are a member of this community, you should care, because there are children that are going to school with your children, and you don't know where they are laying their head at night. We have more children that are homeless. The family rooms, because the Salvation Army Center of Hope is the only shelter in town that has women and children that are able to stay there. And there's a wait for those family rooms. That makes me feel sick.
It's a group, not to be political, of course, but
Yeah.
Kendrick is the
Yeah,
president
you
of
can
that
ask
group.
me anything, yeah.
And he's with Elevate, right? And I was talking to someone who worked with Elevate, and they were saying that it was somebody in that program that wasn't coming to school no more. So they did wellness check.
Yeah.
And from the wellness check, they felt like the family were squatting.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, kind of define squatting for one, and what that could mean, and then also, when you think about homelessness, is that something you see often as well?
So anytime someone is squatting, that's kind of a down low type of thing. Squatting essentially means that you are living in an abandoned building, an abandoned home, an abandoned apartment, and literally squatting. The problem is oftentimes there's not running water, not electricity. So if you have children in an apartment like that, or a home like that, yes, you're out of the elements, but it's not safe.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a comment I want to read. Mario, shout out to Mario, still watching. He said, it's not only downtown, it's an issue in South Augusta also. I let them clean up my bathroom all the time at my house, at my business. And I think, like I said, Mario, from the business standpoint, and I think even me as managing a business, and sometimes they come and say, hey, what can I do for something? I agree with you. You help them one time, they come back.
But if someone is willing to
somebody-
work, so see that I also, what I want people to know is most of my people want to work. If you offer them a job, like, hey, if you're willing to clean up here, if you're willing to cut the grass, if you're willing to pick up trash, that is worthy of being paid. That's a job. And the problem is, without your vital documents, you do have a job like that where it's an under the table kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you're getting paid cash and you can't live off that. So that's why we really want to try to help get people the things that they need. And And when I say that, I'm not talking about food. I'm not talking, I mean, yes, food, but really we need you to have your vital documents because that's the only thing that's going to help you become independent.
This is a random question to me. It's probably a two-part, but I would see a lot of homeless people underneath this area, bridge, I guess you may say.
13th Street.
Oh, yeah, right next to that big
Yeah.
church, right? That's
Yeah.
one place. But then I also would see them in the daytime just chilling amongst each other.
Yeah.
Where the parking spaces was in Broad Street.
Yeah.
Those aren't there no more.
Yeah.
It's just construction. Where are they hanging at now? Like, what are they doing now?
Although we have folks all over the place, all over the place. I'll say, I'll ask, one of my guys, I'm like, hey, where are you staying? Because one of the last things I say before we close the doors, I'll be like, please be safe. Like, please be careful. All over. Abandoned buses. People leave their cars unlocked. Slips in back seat. A lot of buildings are abandoned downtown.
Yeah.
What's interesting is there's a real camaraderie with some of our folks, and it kind of. So the gentleman that was in my pantry that day, he was brought under someone's wing right away. And I'm so grateful for that because they were trying to show him the ropes. He was terrified. But we have so many kind people that are part of the vulnerable population that I wish some of the members of our community could also take notes on how to be kind like that. Hit and break. Okay. What's another question?
Oh, no.
Okay, I was watching your face. I was thinking,
Mario
okay.
said that he actually meant that he let them shower in the bathroom. So that's what he meant to say. We got a comment here said, if so many families with kids are homeless, why not approach the school system about donating an empty school building as a homeless shelter?
So I know there's been conversations. However, the old Regency Mall, like when people bring up, because that was also in the article last week, those are owned by private people. So if we're talking about creating, at which Salvation Army is going to be building a bigger shelter with more rooms. But what I would really love is we get more people out of homelessness so that those rooms are actually empty. That would be my dream.
Right. Robert said some businesses should hire the homeless. And I think, Robert, if you caught on late, one thing we were saying was under the table was cool, but they don't have vital documents. It's just funny. You're saying vital documents because you're actually describing these documents for somebody. To us, it don't seem vital because we always have it. We always got our birth certificate. We always got our ID on us.
And it's so picture this. So we were talking. You guys were talking about Helene. We were talking about the mayor. When Helene rolled through town, so many people were unprepared that a lot of people lost their vital documents. So we had people that have never, ever had to get their birth certificate because they had it in a lockbox, right? Well, now they have lost their vital documents. And so I think it allowed folks to have a better understanding how painful it is when you lose something that you have never lost, and then it makes you seem. I just can't imagine not being able to prove that I am who I say I am.
Yeah. And Robert, that was a good question. I was just making sure anybody that was new watching reiterated that.
Because we want
it's
you to
not
have
that
solid
people can't
work.
hire them. It's just that you can't hire somebody. You got to fill out an I-9. Well, I-9 requires you to have a drug license and a Social Security. So you got to know that. And I got to trust that. How many people are going to hire not only anybody but somebody that's homeless, and then be like, I trust you that it's your social. I trust you that. You'll get fired. You'll get caught up. So you got to kind of have your documents in order too.
You
so.
have to.
Yeah.
Plus, if you, and these are things that health insurance, for example. So we see people that have insurance, but now the copays are so expensive. We're seeing more people insured and still in need. Right? There's more stuff like that. So when we talk about like who could fall into homelessness, it could be anyone. And I think that's the scariest part about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I want to read this comment. She said, Amber Wilson, shout out to Amber. She's been on the live the whole time. Because this would be city funded unless they gifted the building to a nonprofit, but definitely is a good idea. I think so too. I think about I do want to ask. I know we talk about positivity stuff all the time, but what are some of the downsides of working with homelessness for you? Like, if any, like for yourself? I know the positive of helping and all that, but what's some of the downsides? Are they different on different days?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, for sure. I think that also is really interesting to me. When I have members of the community say, you don't know what you're talking about, like, and if you think drugs are not involved, and if you think mental illness is not involved, trust me, as someone who, if someone's having a bad day, sometimes, just like family, someone's having a bad day, maybe they want everybody to be having a bad day. Sometimes I'm in the line of fire, but I mean, that's kind of what I signed up for. And a lot of my colleagues also, not the ones that are in offices, but the ones that are in the trenches, especially like at the shelters or the hot team, mental illness is huge. That's a problem.
Right.
But we're coming up with solutions. Like Serenity now has a mobile team that comes out. That's incredible. So, I mean, we're coming up with solutions. But I really think that it would be beneficial for our entire community if we all work together.
How do you feel? I'm trying to answer this question. How do you feel when you see a news article where someone harms, kills, hurts the homeless? And then also, how do you feel when you see it's vice versa?
It makes me feel sick to my stomach. I think the thing that is, I'm not gonna lie, I spiral. So when there's a news story and it says, you know, homeless person found killed on 5th Street, or, you know, found under the bridge or in a shallow grave, the whole time I'm thinking, oh my God, who is, you know, like I'm panicked because there are still people I have not seen since Helene. And, you know, when they talked about evacuating, they weren't really talking about like the folks that were living in the woods. Because, you know, like when we talk about like, where the trees are, we have pockets of folks that are all over the place. I got sidetracked because last year we did a memorial service for 12 of the folks that had passed away. And it's really hard. It's because I still look for some of them. I know that I'm not going to see them again, but I still picture I'm going to watch Brad with his walking stick and his backpack, right? Like, you know, Ray Charles. All of my colleagues have a Ray Charles story. He was a unique character, and when we found out that he was no longer with us, it was devastating for us. And you kind of have to like pick yourself up, but we're human too. So not only, you know, are we actively trying to help people, but a lot of us fall in love really easily and get our hearts broken when we lose someone.
But the other side, I know I asked you about vice versa. Like, how do you feel when the homeless does something to somebody?
I think it's awful. It kills me. Because then I also think, okay, we need more mental health services. Like, we're getting better. I thank God that Serenity has a mobile team now. I mean, that's incredible that they can come, you know, for example, they're in our parking lot the first Friday of every month. That's amazing because they can do case management, they can do medication, they can help get people signed up.
Yeah.
And, you know, the public defenders and a lot of judges will say, hey, within 2 weeks of your release, I need you to have a mental health eval. Well, that's on Mike Paget, like where DCS is and Serenity.
Yeah.
That if you don't have transportation, how do you expect people to get there? So, you know, we have come up with community care bus tickets. But when they did that story, they told that story on the news prior to the Masters 2 years ago. And so, you know, the comments were, oh, so now they're coming up with bus tickets so that they can bus all the homeless out of here. These are community care bus tickets to help them get to, you know, Department of Public Health, Serenity, Department of Community Supervision, Department of Children and Family Service, and the hospital district to take care of themselves. Had nothing to do with bussing people out. But it's like you'll see a small piece of an article and you'll come up with, oh, it's just how we're not helping, which is the total opposite.
What about like people, which I'm sure there are, I don't know if it's a bad or good thing, but what about people who fear the homeless, who just feel like they just scared of them, like they don't want to be around them, they don't want nothing to do with them because they feel like they might do something to them?
Yeah. I mean, I think that is, if we're being human, like when I go to talk to groups, I have everybody put their heads down and I say, all right, raise your hand if you have ever judged someone without ever having a conversation with them. And if people are being honest, they raise their hand. And then I say, okay, great, hands down. Raise your hand if you have been judged without someone ever having a conversation with you ever. Everybody's hand goes, if they're being honest, everybody's hand goes up. And that is what it's like when you're talking about my people and walking on the other side of the road, which is why I love having kids come visit me and ask questions, because I think we don't offer enough of an open dialogue to have, I think you're ignorant if you don't know what questions to ask, or if someone looks scarier than you. Like if we knew that all purple people were bad and we just had to stay away from all purple people, we would just tell our kids, don't go near, any purple people. And the truth is that very dangerous people often look like the most sane, normal looking people.
True.
I mean, I am trying to, what I'm trying to do is help people not judge a book by its cover. And that's why I'm saying, like, come and meet some of my people. I think, but you have to be open to that. Like, you're open to asking those questions, and not everybody is open.
Well, it's something that I think about. I don't want to put my business out there, but I do want to know, like, what about, like, for families, like, who may have relatives that fell into homelessness?
Yeah.
Maybe they're looking for them, but they don't know where to find. Like, could Gap help them with that? Or if not, is there a database where, like, you can locate people that's homeless and maybe they was here, because you got people who are homeless and they fell into homelessness.
Right.
But some of that they just went away from their family. It could have been drugs, could have been whatever, but they just didn't want to be with their family.
And sometimes they don't want to be found. So when we get a call like that, for example, we have I'm in a group chat, and I don't know how I got into it, because it's labeled Street Heroes, and it's a whole bunch of us in different nonprofits like that are working in this realm. And if there's a family that's reached out to the sheriff's department, they'll send their picture in the chat and they'll say, has anyone seen this person? And then sometimes family reunification is amazing. And then just like all families, not all family reunions are, but we are amazing. But we kind of put the ball in the client's court, only because it's the same reason why we don't post pictures of our folks.
Yeah.
For example, if someone is leaving an abusive relationship and they don't, they're part of safe homes, if someone posts a picture of people, at a fair or a group thing, and someone is looking for that person, all they have to do is scan those pictures and see that person, and that's not safe.
Gotcha.
So a lot of us are very overprotective of our people like that.
That makes a lot of sense. Like I said, if it was something that me and her, or just I was interested in, like, how would we go about? Because I'm not saying I need to have somebody homeless on camera.
Yeah.
I would want anybody that's on camera with me. Normally, 10 times out of 10, they agree to want to do it. Right.
I think you'd be surprised. I have some folks who would be they actually would really appreciate
I just be
being
genuinely
treated
interested
in a
them.
thoughtful, kind way. And I do think, specifically, like, one of the things that I love about y'all is that thanks to you and how you break things down, you have more people that know what's happening in the city, and that's thanks to you. So this platform is the perfect platform to help educate people on, hey, these are members of our community, and this is what happened. Thank God. And I say, when people question, well, why do we have to this and why do we have to that? And why do we need to care about transportation? I say, hey, man, thank God you're not in that position. Thank God you don't have to worry about how hard it is to get from downtown to Mike Pageant.
Right.
You know,
On a
you're
day
blessed.
where it's 99 degrees.
Right, yeah.
You know, no, it's just humid. It's just humid as hell. You know,
No
right.
and you got 2 book bags, a jacket. You trying
and
all
we've
the
got
belongings
people
you gotta
falling
lug
out.
and carry with you.
Yeah.
You
And-
ain't ate in 2 days.
right. And so
You know, it's a lot to come with that.
a lot comes with that. I mean, so, you know, on the one hand, I love when people ask me questions. And I love when it's asked in a way, especially if there's general curiosity, because I think that's normal and natural. But also people who are open to the answers, because not everybody is open to, they just kind of want to slam, like, we've got this problem and that problem. Well, are you going to roll up your sleeves and help us and be a part of the solution? Because we would love it. I don't know an agency that doesn't need volunteers, and I think it would be awesome. So, yeah, if you want to meet someone and you want to have an open conversation,
Yeah.
I can, yeah.
I definitely would. I want to read this comment. It's kind of long time ago on my phone.
Okay,
It said,
okay.
this is one of the best interviews I have seen so far. I wholeheartedly agree that we have to come together as a community. When I took office, I noticed that we had to do more for those with behavioral health issues. I started doing podcasts because one of the biggest things in the lack of knowledge and knowing what resources are available. We have to get out of doing the norm and find better solutions. When a person is suffering with behavioral health issues tied to homelessness, as the judge that deals with ECRH, I don't know what that means, and involuntary treatment, I had to change the court's approach to involvement to help the citizens. I would love to sit down with you to discuss how we can work together. Please feel free to contact the probate court so we can get a meeting scheduled. And her name was Stacy Johnson.
Okay.
I don't know if she mean you or us, but we would
Hey, all
definitely
three
reach
of
out.
us could.
Yeah, I don't mind.
All right, yeah.
We can be a group. We can be a trio.
Yeah, I
You know
love
what I'm
that. I'd be part of this threesome.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, come on now. Hey, it's been a long night. It's past my bedtime. What I
funny, man.
love
She's
is
funny.
being able to have this conversation. It literally just starts with a conversation.
Each Central Regional Hospital. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. East Central Regional Hospital. She said
Yeah.
she's the probate court judge. Definitely go reach out to you. Well, look, that's what it's for. If somebody that important can come into the dialogue and comment and say it, that's all I be caring about. I never care about numbers. That's not really my thing. I'm all about impact. And
Listen.
if this interview can help impact and
One person.
That's it.
Literally just one person. And the whole
One at a
reason
time.
why I want to thank you so much is because, and I mean this like with my whole heart. You don't go into this line of work because I do take a lot of abuse. I mean, I've been called every name under the sun. I again, when I see people in crisis, you are not at your best. I can't say what I would be like if I was a homeless person.
that's important.
I also don't know what it would be like if I lost one of my children or my spouse. Like I can't imagine. But it is something like that that'll make someone spiral. And again, we can't. That could be any one of us.
Right.
Get sick with something, or you lose your job, you lose insurance. So I'm just grateful to have the conversation, and because not everybody is willing, because it is taboo. Like we're talking about mental illness and addiction, and
I think something that's important that we kind of covered today is that it's not always. I think our minds, especially in my community, our minds go straight to drug addiction. And it's not always the case. I'm not saying it's not the case. It's not always the case though. It could be a lot of other things that's determined. I think I was at a podcast summit a few weeks ago when he was saying he talked to a homeless guy and asked him, just how you got here, just asking questions. And I think the guy ended up saying like he went to a party. He did do drugs. He went to a party, but he was wealthy, well off. And it just happened that he just couldn't never kick the habit, you know, and I think something was laced, so he ended up having some other issues amongst the itch for doing drugs. Lost the house, lost his family at that, you know, and then he didn't want to be with them because he felt he felt let him down. So he kind of went to isolation.
Well, because it's humiliating as a man if you are, you know, if you're supporting your family and then you're unable to do that.
And those 2, 3 years turn into 10 years of you just having distance and you become a different person, different identity. So we always talk about what we would do in these shoes, but a lot of times we putting ourselves in people's shoes with our mindset. But you got to put yourself in somebody else's mindset as well.
And that is what that's what I love so much about my job is we really meet people where they're at. And you can't use what you know. You know how people say they should know better. Mm-hmm. Anytime someone says they should know better, I want to say, how should they? How would they? Like, do you know how they were raised? Do you know what was in their home growing up? Because a lot of people, like, I don't know who raised you, or, you know, like, you know, we look normal, but, you know, it's just, I worked at a shelter in Maryland, and there was a lawyer, there was a doctor, a psychiatrist. I mean, I met people who had, like, professional people that lost it all. So, and that really was my education, and this really could happen to, a house fire, a rent, missing a rent payment, just, you know.
You know, it's funny because we talk about society and how it's hard to live right now, and I think I have conversations with people a lot of times, and they say, you know, what would you do if you didn't get your next 2 paychecks? You just didn't get them. I don't know, whatever, you just didn't get them. And a lot of us are just one paycheck away from homelessness or, you know, getting put out. It might not spiral as much, but then you just never know. Because once you get put out, or once you're in that position, now your mindset changes, shifts. I'm sure none of us think the way we thought 10 years ago. We're not in that position 10 years ago. Maybe we think better, maybe we think worse. It depends on what we experience. I think that's important when we think about homeless people because they experience in a different world. I look at someone, I'm not kind of put the two together, but I talk to a lot of people when they come home from jail from doing 10 years or something like that, but it's a different place.
It is.
Their mindset is different. I know people that were like happy-go-lucky, just cool kids. They come out and they'll kill you for anything. Yeah. They don't care. Like, not saying they want to, but that's just their mindset is like, for 10 years they had to protect themselves in all kinds of conditions and ways. So their mind is not, they still can laugh, but they're not that same person. Mm-mm. And so even when you think about people that's homeless, think about what they endure. Think about the daily, whether it's sabotage and whether it's embarrassment. I watch people sometimes, I'll see, it's really sad talking about it now, but I'll see like, they could be paneling, I don't know, but they could be homeless. I'm assuming they're homeless. And they say, you know, they got their sign, whatever. And then you ask somebody, they say, come, you know, I got you. And then they drive off. Yeah. On purpose. You know, it's like, well, that's messed up for one, but it's like, imagine how many times that might happen to this particular person. It's matter how they mind move, their mind shift.
But I think also we have a stereotype that, a homeless person must look dirty or they must look unkept. And I had 2 people in my office last Thursday, and one of my volunteers said, who are those 2 good-looking women in your office? And I was like, okay, what good look? Okay. And I was like, but he's not. Okay, so in my office, I had 2 Caucasian women dressed very well, one totally homeless. She always looks good. All her hair's always done. I mean, she's got beautiful thick hair. Her hair always is done. Her face, her skin is perfect.
She controls what she controls.
You cannot that's one of my volunteers who is with me, who's with us, all the time. And he couldn't tell, like, who are those really beautiful? But that is interesting to me. Like, we judge based on what we think homeless should look like. And that is wildly different these days.
That's a good question to ask people. I would like to do that downtown or something, like maybe like, what does homelessness look like? We asked people, we were doing a campaign, and we asked people what was politics to them. And the answers was very telling. so we can get into that.
Yeah.
But I wonder what people would say for homelessness, because I do think you hear dirty, drug addict, you
Totally.
hear you hear all these negative derogatives, but that's not how it looks on everybody.
No, some people look so well put together, and that's what makes it easy for them to blend in. Honestly, and they could be dealing with severe mental illness, but they can handle it in spurts.
Rochelle said, "Shout out to her. She is a gem in this community. Love her." So
Oh,
Rochelle
thank
Blunt said,
Rochelle.
"Shout out to you."
Rochelle.
You funny. She's funny. Man.
I ain't seen her in a long time.
No, what I appreciate is you allowing me to put this on the table. I thank you. I thank you for us saying things that, because I've tried, and this is not a political thing, because, everything is political, but
Every single thing.
everything is political.
I'm sorry.
But this really is in every commissioner's district, legitimately. Whether you can see it or people are better at hiding, this is the problem. We're never going to eradicate homelessness, but we legitimately have the tools in this community full of incredible people with a lot of knowledge. And legitimately, I know if we work together and not against each other, God, we could go so far, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Tell them where they can find you. Talking about Gap one more time, where they can find you, if they can call, email. Give them your socials so they can kind of holler at you.
Yeah. So I'm actually stupid accessible. And my boundaries are pretty bad on my email. I'll give you my work email.
You're very accessible.
Because you know what? If I'm not, then I might miss out on helping someone. And honestly, the questions that I get on email, sometimes, a lot of times people say, oh, damn, I didn't think you were actually going to email me back. Well, but you emailed me, so, I mean, what do you expect? I'm going to email you back. If you call our office,
you'd be amazed.
We're going to call you back, yeah.
She not far. She be amazed at the people that don't respond as supposed to respond. So you're just doing a good job.
Okay, no. Legitimately, I wasn't kidding when I think about, like, if this was my best friend, if this was my kid, if this was, how would I want them to be treated? So my work email, I'm going to say hopefully GAP for Gap, MINED, so GapMind at att.net. So if you email me, and I check my spam folder also every day, because a lot of stuff's been sliding into spam. If you have a question on resources, for example, Golden Harvest on their webpage, if you want to know where a pantry is, their webpage is so phenomenal, you can find out every pantry. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know that. That's a question like, well, where can I get food in my area? If you are unable to drive, United Way has DoorDash with 211. You can call 211 and have DoorDash food delivered from a participating pantry. Like, there are things in place in our town to help people, but you don't know what you don't know. And so sometimes it just is a matter of, okay, well, I don't even know what to ask. I just know that I don't have transportation. I'm hungry, and I need food to be able to feed my kids because they're home for the summer now. It's different when kids are at school and they get fed at school. Now kids are home. So
nah, definitely. I think it was good. I like talking to you. I told you that day I was here. We were going to talk.
Well, actually, I kind of harassed y'all. I actually at the Boys and Girls Club, I was like, hey, will you guys talk? Will you be my friends?
I
And
think we might have exchanged numbers or
and
something like that. I remember, or emails. I don't know. Somebody took a picture of a card or something. I don't know, but I didn't remember. We took a picture and everything. Didn't we take a picture together, something like that?
If I admire someone, I tell them, and I've been very honest with you. I really admire this platform. I'm not kidding. You have opened up a line of communication, things that are happening in the city for folks who have never, ever known what's going on. That right there, and I see it because of the questions people ask and how people read your stuff. And I see other military spouses that have said, man, the way you've broken this down, it was so awesome. So listen,
We appreciate
we all
that.
need to we need to work together.
No, we definitely appreciate it.
But I'm going to introduce you to some of my favorites. So just
we can
hold
set,
on.
We can set aside some time, and then like I'll just come down there for a day. I don't mind.
Yeah,
It don't bother
no,
me.
I say this to people. If you're in a position, if you're lucky enough to be able to volunteer, you know, you walk in with a preconceived idea, because I like asking people, what do you think it's going to be like before you walk in there? Hand to God, it'll be totally different. And you will walk out feeling so encouraged. And not only that, but my volunteers are as close to human angels as possible, because my agency, I'm the only full-time employee. I have a part-time admin who, thank God for her, she's really what keeps me in check. And then the rest, it's, 65 plus volunteer run organization.
No, I would love
Volunteers
to.
wouldn't come back if it didn't fill their cup.
I would love to, and I wouldn't mind. Cause like I know you mentioned the Salvation Army a couple times. I grew up in not in the Salvation Army, but I grew up going to Salvation Army in New York. It's like Boys and Girls Club for us. But I remember they would always feed the homeless at a certain time of day. So I remember the line being to like my house all the way, not my house, but my apartment all the way around the corner. They would give us Christmas gifts every Christmas. So we always got gifts from there. It was wrapped up. It was nice, a whole little ceremony. All we had to do was go to Sunday school. So I try to go every now and then,
I mean, you just gotta do what you
I
gotta
gotta
do.
get the gifts. I need my football. But now I seen it coming up, so I can imagine what it would be like. I was young, so I didn't really like know what was going on. But as I thinking back at it now, and you talking about it, I wouldn't mind doing that. I think that'd be dope to do.
I
like
think
that.
I will say, you can't walk into my building and then go home and not think about what you saw.
Yeah.
I've seen more beautiful children, so many beautiful children, babies. And I want the world to be a better place for them. So if we can get this straight, then that's what we're going to leave these kids.
Thank you. It's I agree. Amazing platform. Clap it up. Tommy, clap button, please. Clap it up for us. Clap it up for her.
Thank
Once
you,
again, I
guys.
think the email you said was GAPMIND, Gapmind at
MINED.
MINED, Gapmind at ATT.com.
ATT.net.
.net. Okay, ATT.net.
So everything you said, but the opposite.
GAP. I know, right? Everything, every single thing except the GAP. I got that right.
You had the
I
GA.
used to wear Gap. I know how to say it. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes. And honestly, thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
No,
Really.
thank you. And I try to make sure we got the time. I don't want to rush yours, but I think that we give y'all both the right amount of time. So it's perfect to me. So I like it. This is the kind of stuff I like talking about anyway. So
Oh, I mean,
I don't be caring about the other
No,
stuff.
and
It's just funny to me. you know?
I thought it was great watching his. Then I
yeah.
like coming in after.
That's always hard to do. Coming after a little mess is always hard a little bit. But
Oh no, it was perfect. He set the
Yeah.
stage, so
the
it didn't
tone.
matter what I. No, but really nice to be in your home. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you
Thank you.
stopping
Thank
by.
you. Make sure y'all like, comment, and share the live. I'll see a few likes on it. Like it up, share the live. Post it to your page, your friend page. Send it to your grandma. She might want to watch it. I don't know. We appreciate y'all. You got anything you want to say, Q?
I do not.
Who made your jean jacket? I see you fly today. Who made your clothes? What's the gear? Say it again. Say it. Say it. Wait, why you scared to say it? Say it in the microphone.
I did.
Damn, I'm trying to, throw you out of you. You know what I'm saying? I know you bad. You got she bad. I like that. Thriller, Michael Jackson. I'm seeing it, man. I like it. I like it. Yeah, put the camera on Q. Let me take the words off the screen.
Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to him, Q. Yeah, tell him, man. Now we out. We appreciate it.
Bye,
Thank y'all.
y'all.
Thank
Have a
y'all.
good
Thank y'all.
night.
Thank y'all.
Sweet dreams.
That was